Yeah. No parachute with this one. Okay. Yeah. Voice to Atlantis. Footsteps in the dark, part 1 and 2. Just landed a UFO back from a 5 grammer. Trying to explain like teaching a 5-year-old grammar, language barrier. My spirit is light with the weight of Thor's hammer. Eagle eye fly when the doves cry. I never knew a love like this before. Never grab a lion's tail, the digit scale is keeping scope. Stepped in fresh, killing niggas, I'm talking slicing throats. Blood splattered on your girl face, but she's smiling. Her facial expression acknowledged my perfect timing. Smelling like Versace, fresh coconut and watermelon. Mixed with some Zayu Bubba, niggas ain't never selling. Focused on the lesson, so if I lose, I'm never failing. Focused on the clues, the other side trying to tell me something. I can hear the whispers, I'm searching around like I'm key hunting. Russell Crowe, beautiful mind, baby, I'm number crunching. Top my bow with a crammer, keep nigga, I'm crop dusting. Tripping knowledge hitting quick, I can feel the tears coming. Yeah. Yeah. Boys to Atlantis. Footsteps in the dark, part 1 and 2.
What's going on? We're in the building. Y'all can hear me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're in the building. We're in the building. This is another Stream Perspective Facts podcast. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see who is here. Let's do some roll call. Who's in the building? Who's in the building? Oliver. Yeah, my dog Oliver in the building, man. Yeah, it is a lot going on. We're going to try to cover as much as possible, man. Plant-based in the building, dog. Peace and wellness, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trevor Jackson in the building. Salute Trevor Jackson. You guys see the new layout. You know what I'm saying? The overlay, the underlay, the banner, the tags. You know, we getting everything right. You know what I'm saying? We putting some things behind the production right now. Salute Trevor Jackson for hooking it up. Got a little, you know what I'm saying, new style, new flow. Respect everybody up. We've been in the building, bro. We've been in the building. We got some vegans in the building. That's what I'm saying. Are we back on the monkey app? Probably maybe tomorrow, something like that. I'm kind of busy tonight. I got some mango margaritas and some other what we got? Soup, rice, mango margarita. We got some other shit going on tonight for dinner. So I don't think we're gonna be on the monkey app. I'm probably monkeying around in real life. Respect everybody in the chat, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. We gotta have a conversation, dog. We gotta have a conversation, man. We got to pocket watch. I'm pocket watching. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a pocket watcher, a proud hater. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who, you know what I'm saying, like I'll support like Joe Budden, right? Supporter, proud of him. I was there when with the dirty wife beater days, with the loose wife beater days, where Joe would, you know what I'm saying, would turn up off the Adderall. You know what I'm saying, 30 milligram Adderall turned up. With sweating, with the white tee hanging out, cold dark room rant. I'm that. I go back that far with Joe. You know, when he started charging for Patreon, when he started slowly moving the show off of YouTube and over to Patreon, I was a supporter. I was an early investor. I was somebody who was a part of the friends and family tier. You know, I never fanned out too much. Like me personally, you know, I'm a supporter and everything, but unless I'm using a service that is going to benefit me financially, I just don't see myself paying somebody like $30, $40, $50 a month for entertainment. I'm sorry. Now, if you like, you know, like I may pay like 50 something for premium on my X, right? But the thing with that is I get traction, you know what I'm saying? And I get a lot of, you know, clicks. I get a lot of interactions with my investment on the X/Twitter platform or on YouTube. I pay premium for YouTube Premium. So I don't, you know, have to watch and sit through commercials because I don't have a lot of time to consume the amount of content I consume and go and sit through ads. So I'll say that as a consumer, it is some things I'm willing to pay $30, $20, $30, $40, $50 for monthly, like StreamYard, for example. We're just going down the line to to discuss a few things that we don't mind paying premium for. Like I said, from StreamYard, it costs around not $14, it costs around $44 a month. But hey, we stream, we get things popping. I don't mind paying for certain things, but if it's just for a entertainment value service, I don't see myself paying over like $20 like YouTube Premium. I paid, I think, $21.99 as far as I'm probably going to go. When it comes to the Joe Budden podcast, when it comes to how he moves, Trevor Jackson, I'm just like you. I spend $10 a month. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing about that $10 out of that $900K, and you know how they make that $900K? Because by the first, if you haven't dropped that bread by the first, your Patreon is getting cut off. They will remove you from the friends and family tier. Ain't no, hey, you've been donating, you've been paying 12 months straight on the dot. We're gonna shoot you a free, month. Joe Budden don't play that. You ain't getting no free month out of him. You ain't getting no free episode. I heard a nigga say he was watching a Patreon episode, 12 o'clock on the dot. The whole stream shut off, the whole episode, lost connection. He couldn't even finish it. He had to go borrow 10 from his mom and cash out Joe Budden's Patreon to finish watching. I don't hate on that. I respect the hustle. I don't know why Joe Budden cats be acting like they're broke. That shit's corny. See, we're going to have a lot of these type of conversations right now. I'm hating this month too. Hey, listen. Joe might not get another 10 from me till about October. I'm not going to lie, Joe Budden. You might not get another $10 out of me till October. I'm sorry. I'm hating. I see 900K up there. You had these comments about, the pores. Is a lot of financial jokes to go on the platform, which is kind of funny. I don't mind. But Joe, and I want to go back to this comment too. It's like, okay, do they act like they're broke? We don't know if they're broke. And broke is relative to who is the one being called broke, and the one that, brokenness is relative, right? So I say that to say, Joe, I don't think is broke per se, but I mean, Joe's the podcast, the cast, I don't think they're broke, because when it comes to Ish, I feel like the money he was making before he got on that platform, he was able to make a living with, right? I feel like if he was able to make a substantial living to the point where people think he is already a millionaire before he got on the show, then obviously Joe must be paying Ish a good amount of money for him to quit the job that he used to have to come on the platform. Ice, I don't know what he was doing. I think he was driving trucks, working at Foot Locker, leaking music. I don't know. But for them to hire Mark Lamont Hill, who does speaking engagements, I believe Mark Lamont Hill had to get cut a check. And if you say, okay, the Joe Budden podcast, let's just say these guys, the cast, right? If say Joe's pulling $900,000 a month, right? Let's say 200,000 that goes to giving up between the cast, right? Maybe they're getting paid, but I think before we pull up, because I'm gonna pull up the pull up the official numbers. What I think personally is that now that people have seen these numbers, even Melissa Ford said if she knew that the Joe Budden podcast was going to was making those type of numbers, right? Was getting that type of money. Joe Budden definitely, I mean, not Joe Budden, but Melissa Ford definitely would have would ask for more. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the main things that people are kind of talking about. They feel like, and I don't feel like that. Let me say this first. Do I think that his cast is underpaid? I'm going to say no. The reason why I'm going to say no is because, I mean, look, you sit on the couch all day and you pod. You're not sitting there. I mean, you got Ish, not Ish, but let me post this real quick. Let me post this real quick so we can see. Okay. Can we see this right here? Okay. It says right here, if you can look at the top, monthly membership 90285 or 95. It has the active members. It has the right here. I think this is like kind of like exclusive payment. So it's like $9.31, right? Pay-per-view. The $9.31 a month right there is a pay-per-view analytic. But if you look at it, the last pay-per-view he had was, I think, the negativity highlighter argument he had with Flip, and then the basketball game where Ish tore his ACL. Everybody was looking, tore up from the floor up. That came out, I want to say not September, like January, February type of time. So when I look at it, the numbers do look like they add up. Like I said, a $20K a month max for any of them. I'm the same way. I don't see in 20K max to me is pushing it. And when I say it's pushing it, let's look at Melissa Ford, right? I'm going to move this number off and I'm going to put myself back on the screen, right? Now, when we look at Melissa Ford, right? Do we really believe Melissa Ford should be getting paid $20,000 to sit up there, cap, lie, not keep it real, always crying about getting dog piled on because she's not keeping it real, asking her a question that should be in her expertise and she can't articulate what she's trying to say, and then the cast is getting mad and they dog pile on her. I'm saying for Melissa Ford, for what we were sold, like, oh, damn, we getting M Ford. And what we're getting out of Melissa Ford, you say 20K max, I'll pay Melissa Ford $8,000 a month, my final offer. Melissa Ford could not get more than $8,000 a month from me. I'm not paying Melissa Ford $20,000 of nothing. Melissa Ford might get $20,000 over the summer, but I'm not giving Melissa Ford $20,000, and I know you said max. The only person I think that should be getting 20K max a show, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to have to say Mark Lamont Hill. I know he's new. I know he's some people like him on the cast, some people don't. For his degrees, for his intellect, for his well-researched point of views that he brings to the show, even when it's a lot of things that I don't agree with Mark on, I do appreciate the way he articulates himself, and I like the way Mark always, has some point of reference to back up what he's saying. Like I said before, do I believe Mark Lamont Hill is a black belt panderer? Absolutely. Do I believe Mark Lamont Hill be capping to have a pro-woman or pro-feminist point of view? Absolutely. But do I think that he does that to even out the dynamic of the narratives from the other men in the room? Yes. Do I think that it adds to the conversation when Mark Lamont Hill can be a healthy contrarian to the conversation where, Joe, Flip, and Ice, or even Ish may take it as far as they may have more of a masculine point of view. They may have more of a rigid point of view when it comes to topics about about women and females, when it comes to topics about politics. Mark Lamont Hill, what he brings to the show, especially when he first got there, it made a lot of the cast kind of look a little shaky. Even when Imani came on the show, salute Dot Focus in the building. Salute the Dot Focus in the building, man. Even when Imani came into the show on the Joe Budden podcast, one of the first things he was trying to point out to the cast was like, hey, man, I don't think you guys are working hard enough. I don't think you guys are like hustling. I don't think you guys are really getting it cracking like that. And I think I don't know if he knew how much people were getting paid, but I'm pretty sure his point of view from, I don't know his financial situation, but when you walk into a platform and you see a bunch of dudes getting fat on the couch wearing, their own merch, and complaining about, oh man, we don't get out of here at 6 o'clock. We get out of here at 10. Damn, Joe got us doing this and that many pots. I mean, damn, bro, I'm gonna be honest. If you're sitting on a couch talking, you get paid. I think maybe Melissa Ford, I think people do bring topics in for the day, but I'm pretty sure guys like Erickson, I'm pretty sure that guys, like Parks, even Joe, I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, they usually have topics curated behind the show. So I don't think the cast is primarily responsible for selecting the topics, right? So that's one job that you are being removed of, is being responsible for topics. Let's say another job outside of Parks, who is really in charge of production. I'm pretty sure Joe is his show. So outside of Joe and Parks, who's really, after the show goes off, after everybody goes home, who's doing post-production, who's doing the audio, who's doing the mixing and mastering, who's doing the clip cuts, who's doing the things that make the show and bring the backbone to what that show is? I don't think there's nobody on that couch. So once again, if they see this number, if they like, damn, Joe's bringing on almost $1 million a month, what are you doing to siphon that million? Like for Mark Lamont Hill, like I said before, Ian has a new show on the Patreon. Mark Lamont Hill has become a part of the Patreon to the point where now it's the Ian and Mark show. So what you're seeing with Mark Lamont Hill, not only does he do Patreons here and there, not only does he do the Friday shows, he is now making himself an intricate part in the network. Now, Mark Lamont Hill not only came in, established himself, won Potter of the Month for 3-4 months in a row. He has been dominating Potter of the Month this year. He's well-researched. He makes Ish, who looked like the President Muffin Man, who was cracking everybody's muffin, who was like the smartest guy in the room. Mark Lamont Hill has came in and took Ish's lunch. Mark Lamont Hill has came in and usurped Ish as the smartest person in the room, to the point where people are saying Ish is only smart to dumb niggas. Do I believe that? No, I think Ish is very intelligent, but I think it's certain topics that Ish isn't well informed on that he shouldn't be trying to debate with scholars and people who do research. Because they had another debate that was like an argument on the Patreon, and Ish was yelling at Mark, and Mark is like, nigga, I still got the notes from a paper I'm writing on the very subject in my pocket. What are you arguing about? That's why I fuck with Mark. So Mark Lamont Hill, if he's getting paid $20K max for a show, or a month, I think he deserves it. I think he deserves it. There are 5K minimum for one bedroom. Yeah, okay, 5K, Melissa. You got 8. So, you know, if you got 8K, 5, you know, going to the rent, 3 to survive. Melissa Ford, if you can't run off 3 bands a month, hey man, that Hot and Bothered. You see, she's trying to crank Hot and Bothered up, but you know, I don't know. And I feel like this, maybe Melissa Ford has took in her finance from the Joe Budden podcast and has put it over to Hot and Bothered, right? If that's something Melissa Ford has done with the proceeds she's gotten from the Joe Budden podcast, then by all means, that is great. You take the money, the Patreon and the JBP is paying you. You take it, reinvest it in your platform. Maybe you don't launch it on the JBP, but if you can attach yourself to that and have that as a subsidiary, as an independent platform from the JBP, that's fine. That's cool. Looks like you're using your resources. We're going to read a little more. That money make them too lax too, because they should be proactive to creating their own platforms. That's why I was giving Mark Lamont Hill his props. He has become, it's the Mark and Ian show they have on Patreon. So he's making himself valuable. He's also carving a lane to get a check from a bigger check from the JBP. And also the same thing about making their own platforms is the same thing Joe was trying to tell Mal and Rory. Was like, hey, you guys can use the content from the Joe Budden podcast, create your own YouTube channels, use my content for free, and blow up independently. They didn't want to do that when Joe told them to, only for them to do that after the fact, right? And we're going to have another conversation about Rory and Mal, because they say that they were underpaid or there was a $400,000 discrepancy within the numbers. Their Patreon isn't really popping as like Joe Budden's podcast. They just had to take a deal with the volume, right? I don't know the particulars in their deal with the volume, but if Joe Budden is getting paid $1 million, pretty much $12 million off of the Patreon alone, we're not talking about YouTube, we're not talking about Spotify, we're not talking about any other audio listening DSP devices that Joe Budden profits from. You know, what if he may have been able to purchase the Rory and Mal show? We don't know. Some more comments. Parks definitely getting paid that $20 a month. He stays quiet when it comes to the salary, and then he pushed back from Joe. Parks also their sound engineer. Yeah, I believe Parks should get paid. Parks is a day one. Parks has been doing the audio engineering. He definitely should get at least $20K a month, right? Melissa Ford said, oh, she would have tried to negotiate for a higher bag. I'm sorry. And I know I'm not going to stay on M4 too long, but Melissa Ford, you lucky you get what you're getting. If I was Joe Budden, when I would have put that $90K, I would say, hey, we're doing pay cuts, nigga. And Melissa, you the first one. We cut whatever you was getting cut down. We got to give you $8K, baby. You see, we bringing some hoes, we bring some, you know, some women to the Joe Budden podcast. Like Don't Call Me White Girl, I think she was cool. They got this other girl they brought in, I think it was kind of lame. So I will say this too. She got to step it up a little bit when it comes to Flip, right? Now let me take a sip of Gatorade. When it comes to Flip, right? Flip is a necessary part of the energy with the Joe Budden podcast. Because you let go of Rory and Mal, the show in a way has aged up to when it was Rory and Mal, it was more like a late 20s, early 30s, it was like a late 20s, mid 30s, early 40s type of pod. When I was in my 20s, I listened to JBP. Rory was able to take care of the audience members that were in their late 20s. Mal was able to take care of the podcast members in their mid 30s. And Joe was able to take care of the podcast listeners in their early 40s, right? Now that you have elevated the age, a level of energy has left, a level of conversational relevance when, you know, we'll listen to the Rory Mal podcast, and when they start the show out and they start talking about like their day, what they have going on, I feel like that relatability with the youth is what's missing from JVP. So now when we take it to Flip, when research I said, both Queens Flip and Melissa Ford should be grateful for whatever they get. Just don't bring the feminist Ashley and Ashley out. Yeah, I was looking forward to the Ashleys that they brought in, but obviously you are probably not the only person that was disappointed with the Ashleys that they brought in. It really seemed like, you know, they were nice girls, but it was a lot of bird conversations, a lot of bird theories. But with Queens Flip, let's get on Queens Flip for a second, right? Like I said, I think Queens Flip definitely does bring a lot to the situation with the JBP. I believe Queens Flip brings a level of energy. I love the way he pocket watches Joe. I love the dialogue when he's talking about contracts, him and Joe talking about contracts. He's pocket watching Joe. He sees Joe get a new car, or Joe's trying to do a promotion or something like that. I love that interaction between Joe and Flip when Flip is pocket watching. I love how, you know, Flip, you know, can poke at Melissa Ford sometimes. Not all the times. I think he can overdo it usually, but I like how he initially starts off with poking the bear at Melissa Ford. The way he catches certain things, the way he might be trying to expose information that the rest of the cast doesn't want to be exposed, I think is super dope. But my issue with Flip sometimes is you can be doing more. Like when he was trying to do the what was that called? What was that show that him and Joe had? The I want to call it Uncommon Sense. What was this shit called? Man, what was that show him and Joe had? It was Improper Improv. Improper Improv. When Improper Improv first started on the couch and they were just doing their thing, that was a crazy show. That was a great show. The reason why Improper Improv was dope initially is because you had Joe Budden live with Flip live. Parks there sometimes. But for the fact that you got Joe Budden on a live stream, anything can go. I think the best episode, the best scene to me that came out of Improper Improv with Flip was when they had Shampoo up there, and Shampoo was pretty much asking if you are talking to a woman and you tell her shut up or whatever, and you say you're gonna like pop or whatever, is it a good idea to hit her? It's not a domestic violence joke, but it was just funny how they had Shampoo up there unhinged. How Flip would be telling Shampoo like, bro, don't say like, dog, don't do it. And Shampoo would look at Flip and then say like, jump out the window, and then they'll argue and everything, and it would just be turned up. I think Improper Improv season 1 was classic. I think they struck gold with that. Now, I think because of maybe the paperwork, maybe Joe wanted to detach himself from it. Maybe Flip wanted to detach Joe and Ian from it a little bit and wanted to do it on his own. Maybe. I don't know. But the season 2 Improper Improv was a disaster. It didn't do too well. Now, Flip's Patreon, I think, is pretty good. I think what Flip does on his own platform is pretty good. But I even said this earlier, Flip is not researched. Flip asked some of the most asinine questions on the show. Flip asks literally some of the stupidest questions I've ever heard a grown man ask. Like, we could be talking about some of the dopest topics, and Flip is going to ask the stupidest question to take everybody off focus and be like, we'll be talking about goddamn the NBA, right? And then Flip will be sitting there like, so you tell me LeBron James has played for 20 years? Damn. So like, how old was he when he came into the league? And you're sitting there like, bro, why are you here? And the issue some people are having with the JBP or with Flip or with some of the things is for a paying customer. Listen, if you're watching this show for free on YouTube, if you're watching the show for free, or if you are somebody who is enjoying free content on the platform, you might not be able to say anything. People say, well, if you're not paying for it, why does it matter? Right? That's what people say. But I'm going to keep it a buck, right? I'm going to keep it a buck. If I'm paying a subscription for the JBP, I believe I have something to say. Flip, if I'm paying $10 a month, I need you to reel back on some of these stupid ass questions, because every time I hear a dumb question, I'm thinking, damn, why am I paying? Why I should have put this $10 somewhere else. I appreciate the energy Flip brings, but the way he is informed and the way I feel he is too old and too bald to be this ignorant when it comes to general topics is appalling, astounding, and it doesn't make me want to keep paying a $10 a month when Flip is showing up there and he's not even qualified to be up there to have these conversations. If you need comic relief that bad, hire a real comic. Hire somebody who's witty. Don't hire just a fat bald nigga to scream every day and show his butt crack when he gets out the seat. I just don't understand it. I'm going to pause this a little bit. Let me go ahead and read a few things. Say Cash App, $ Florida Boy J. Follow me on X, Florida Boy J904. I hope everybody appreciates the graphics and the backdrop. I'm going to go ahead and read some of these topics. Let me see where we at. Yeah, Parks plays his position. Florida J, don't want to steer off topic, but since you and Duval, what's been going on with Travis Hunter and Jags? Have they started reconstruction on the Everbank Stadium? Now, I don't think he started reconstruction, but when it comes down to Jags, everything I'm hearing about Travis Hunter is good. I haven't heard anything bad, and I can't wait till preseason starts. If these niggas are on a podcast commenting on all these successful celebrities, and they're getting less than 10K while the show's making 900K a month, then their opinion means a lot less. Now, Lenny Trees, remember when Rory and Mal used to sit on that couch? You remember Rory and Mal used to pocket watch? Niggas used to sign deals. Rory and Mal used to sit up there talking like they know the deals. Rory and Mal talking up there, talking about people's value. Was it smart for this person to sign this? Was it smart for that person to sign that? You know what I'm saying? Like, when it used to come down to it on the JBP, these guys used to, especially like I said, Rory and Mal and Joe, they used to be talking like the contracts they had was sewn up. They used to be giving niggas advice on what to sign, people's values, the longevity, the retention. And then when the Spotify deal ended and you know what I'm saying, Joe used to talk that boss talk, and things hit the fan, we realized Rory and Mal wasn't, really that fine-tuned with the money. And then we want to talk about, like I said, we want to talk about everybody else. They talk about, athletes, entertainers, and people. And I think sometimes that's tricky, and that is a setup that Joe doesn't really care about, but I think does show on the cast where, yeah, we got to talk about these topics and everything, but some of these topics may hit too close to home, or some of the things that I may say may contradict with the reality of my finances when it pertains to my entertainment contract. So I do believe that this does cause question. This does cause conflict of interest. And I think now people are going to poke and pry at how much they're getting paid monthly. And if anybody on the cast, like how Melissa Ford did the other day, when she finds out if anybody on the cast has an issue or act like they want to get more money, you're kind of telling yourselves, if Joe is getting $900K a month, I believe Joe probably, if say he's getting Joe's getting paid $12 million a year from the Patreon, I believe Joe is probably giving $1.2 million in cast overhead. Now, $1.2 million Let me do the math really quick. 1.2 mil. Let's divide that. How many cast members is it? Say like 8 people, right? Divide that by 8. If everybody's getting 150,000 a year from the JBP, that's good money. If Joe Budden takes 1.2, divides it by 8, not including him, and just gives that to the cast overhead, then 150,000. And I know you're saying, oh, we're in New York, whatever. Bro, 150,000 a month, sit on the couch, fart on it, and give bullshit takes all day. Bro, sign me up. Sign me up. You're not under, if you're just a talent, you're not in the production, the post-production, you maybe do some pre-production. But if you're just showing up on the couch in sweatpants and a hoodie, bad wigs, crusty pants, and a bald head, my nigga, come on, dog. Mark Lamont Hill be sleep on the couch sometimes, dog. 150 is fine. Now, what's 150 divided by 12? Let's just say what they make in a month. Divide that by 12. Bro, if Joe Budden's paying these niggas $12,500 a month, that's fine. Divide that by 4. If Joe's giving these niggas 3 bands a week to go up there and bullshit, go up there and beat. Come on, my nigga. 3 bands a week ain't bad. All right. Y'all are regular people outside of Melissa Ford, outside of Flip, because Flip got a lot of traction. You know, Mark Lamont Hill gets money, Parks gets money. Bro, hey man, play your position. Play your position. I think 1.2 is good. Let me show. Hello, what's up, Bountiful Soul? How are you doing, man? We got 20 people in here. We going to numbers. Hey man, I told you the Diddy trial is wrapping up, so I'm not gonna be spending too much time, doing the Diddy reruns or doing the Diddy streams. We're gonna be getting back to original content, original streaming. I know everybody's excited about that. I am. Worked on that drop. We got some nice things in the building. Salute Twin Peaks. We're in the building, yes sir. Twin Peaks trading, not the restaurant, but the trading. Subscribe to their channel, by the way, man. We're getting some good trading advice right now. Initially, when creating finances should not be the main priority. Prioritize quality. Thank you. But the only thing I will say about that is when the show first started, yes. But now that show's big. They sit on nice white couches overlooking the riverfront in Jersey. Nigga, we need that back. Shampoo gave me life. I laughed so hard. Salute. Shampoo is hilarious, bro. When he was on a JBP, that nigga was out of pocket. He was out of pocket, man. Miss Magic, what is popping in the building? How you doing? What's up, everybody? See, I like everybody. We talking here, Carlton Way. Hey, man, I got to give you a mod. I got to give you, and I think Black and Band, I'm going to give you guys a mod badge, man. Salute. Everybody in the building. Yeah, 200K a piece. Nah, bro. I'm not giving these niggas 200K a piece. I'm sorry. I told you my final 150,000, bro. I give you 150,000. I'm not going over 150,000. You niggas get paid weekly, 3,100 a month. I mean 3,100 a week. Okay, you take care of your rent and a check and a half, another half you survive on. Nigga, if I'm Joe, I'm paying you niggas just enough to survive. I need you niggas hungry, stressed out, and starving. That's how I need you niggas potting. You can't pot when niggas is comfortable. You could do a lot 150. That's what I'm saying. You do a lot 150. I'm pretty sure Manny getting 150. I don't even think Manny getting 150. Joe. If anybody from the JBP is upset what I'm talking about, blame Joe. You put up, you getting paid 900,000. We busting it down and we figuring out what niggas getting paid all week. I'm sorry. This is what it is. You do a lot 1K. White where Rory ran down a search shot. Come on. We don't know about that. 300K a week working 2 days a week. That's what I'm saying, bro. You getting paid 1,500 every time you show up? Come on, dog. That's a good bag. That's a good deal to me. Suit Jason in the building. Joy Taylor should replace Lauren and Melissa Ford. Man, hell nah, bro. I'm being honest, bro. I don't know if you ever heard Joy Taylor talk on her platform, bro. She's just as mad. I mean, she's just as bad as Melissa Ford, but she talks more. So it's like, not only do you say bird brain things, you are very opinionated about it. It's like Melissa Ford, to me, because she's up there on the JBP, she knows what she's saying is BS. So she kind of gets bullied out of the stupidity that's about to come out of her mouth, or they let her say certain stupid things. and eat her alive for it. When they say they're dog pound on Mel, they're not dog pound on Mel. Mel, you say a lot of things that are contradictory, or when it's like the DDG and Haley Bailey topic, you went in on DDG, tried to take Haley Bailey's point and take her side without the facts, and you crashed out. When it comes to Tory Lanez and the Meg, you crash out. Anytime it's a woman versus a man, Melissa Ford literally crashes out on the man every time, and is very is very biased to the reality and the fact situation. She will look over the facts and dog pile on men. So when you want to talk about her or Joy Taylor, both were attractive women, and watching them enough, I've learned that it doesn't matter how fine you are. If you say stupid stuff on a regular basis, or I can predict what your point of view is going to be on certain topics, then your value to me is in the toilet, especially as a woman on a male-dominated cast. I'm not saying you got to go up there and be a pick me, but at least go up there, and I want to think like, wow, I don't know what angle you're going to take today. Wow, I don't know what you're going to say. Oh, wow, maybe you might throw a curveball today. You get paid enough to at least troll, or at least come out here and say something different. Like you, Melissa Ford, between your name and the clout people say you should have more confidence in what you have to say, and you should be more diverse in your point of view in a lot of these topics. When it comes down to Ish, do I believe Ish should be paid 150 to 200K? The only reason why I say yes is because Ish has shown, I think, in real life that he makes real money. So to take him away from his construction and his real estate, I think you would have to. He's like in a Mark Lamont Hill category where you get paid enough money and you are just fine financially if you never touched a microphone on the JVP. So when it comes to that, I feel like Joe had to probably pay them niggas 150 to 200 tops. I feel like they had to Ish, and I feel like Ish definitely probably does get paid 200K a year. Mark Lamont Hill, by the amount of speeches he goes to give, I believe he's somebody who also gets paid over 200K. Also with Ish, not only did Ish come into the JVP, make himself known, make himself, grow into a better potter, he has also dropped his own clothing brand, right? He's also dropped his own hoodies, his own merch. That's that Ish merch. He also has leveraged himself from the Joe Budden podcast and went on other platforms and has done interviews. I've seen him do an interview round with a bunch of kids. I've seen him go on multiple platforms. I've seen him go on Bag Fuel and start screaming and crashing out on Bag Fuel. So when it comes down to Ish, he has taken everything he has gotten from the JVP and multiplied it and ran with it. So when it comes down to Ish, I think Ish is one of the few people who might deserve $150 to $2,000 on the JVP. So I'll say that. Good points. Joe Budden respects effort and productivity because ultimately he built this platform and opportunity. Yeah, and we come for Joe Budden. Joe Budden can just stand in front of the TV like Star and cut the whole cast and just talk. And I think that would be an interesting show. Emani getting $50K a year. I ain't say it, Trevor. You said it. I ain't say it, man. You said it. You said $50K a year. I ain't say it. You said it. I believe he might be getting paid $50K. You're on Patreon here and there. He's not a consistent person on the show. I believe he might be on that $50K. I believe him and J1 were getting paid the same. And thank God they took J1 off the show. J1 almost made me cancel my subscription for the JVP Patreon because that nigga was terrible. He was horrible on the microphone. J1 at the JVP was like somebody walking in your house with some funky ass socks, but will never tell you that his socks are funky. So the room just stinks. And then when he leaves, the room still smells like socks and ass. That was J1 on the mic. J1 reminded a lot of the viewers that we're not paying any money to watch this Nepo baby sit here with this big ass Newport Square head and act like Maul's little brother. Okay, J1 was the worst person you ever brought on that couch. I wouldn't get that nigga $5K a year. I would get that nigga $20 every show. Amory would have been the perfect. Oh my, no, she wouldn't. You know why for the JP you can't have an A Marie on there? I'm gonna keep it a buck. The reason why you can't have an A Marie, because Melissa Ford already tries to cosplay the whole Flower Girl universe, type of situation, bro. I would never want another one of these flower pot. The universe is an alchemation type of girls on the JVP. We need, if the Joe Budden podcast brings any female on there, we need women like Mandy and them off Horrible Decisions, or we need Lexi and old girl from a Poor Minds podcast, or we need some women who are going to give it up in a certain way. Some of these organic universe plant-based women, no pun intended, some of these plant-based women, or the ones like Melissa Ford who cosplay as, the plant-based mindset. We don't want that at the JVP. We want the ones who popping ass, shaking it, dropping it low with the BBLs, telling us about the debauchery they did that weekend. I'm trying to see Joe Budden take one of them girls from Starlets, put her on there, and we want to hear about the debauchery, how you charging niggas money, like when they had Bernice Burgos up there. I think she did her personality was whack, and I think she was up there capping, but I loved how the cast and the men were up there like shamelessly pandering, or like she would say certain stuff, and like them niggas would just like buy it. In the way Melissa's face was like, bro, they really let her get that off. I think was crazy, but I think I want to see more of that. Like, I think that those type of women would challenge the show more than, like I said, the organic based girls who want to run around here and, the A Maries. A Marie is still fighting this one thing, a cappella. She's been fighting that record for like 3-4 months. She's been fighting that record for going on a month now. And so, Luke, you know what? And I'm going to say this too. I think the worst thing that happened to the JVP as far as the guests is having A Marie on the show before she went on the Tiny Desk in all these concert and tour runs, because I feel like we have missed premium jokes and roasting on A Marie because she's already been up there. But I swear to God, we all know if she never went up to the JVP, and we've been seeing her with these trash ass performances trying to do a cappella or stopping a song, singing and twerking off screen, Joe and Ice alone. I would just want to see the A Marie performance and give the mic to Joe and Ice, and they would go on a good 5-10 minute rant firing her up. So no A Marie. Good point for JDDG, Shannon Sharp, etc. That feminism is crap. It's annoying and played out by M Ford. That's all I'm saying, man. Like I said, M Ford is beautiful. She's fine, but she be lying about her personal life. She be capping about stuff. She don't be keeping it real. She don't give us something interesting. She's a little too old to be molded. And very attractive woman. I just don't feel like they have to force her to give a perspective on the show. I just think she's been there too long to be this much of a subpar performer on that platform. And when they have other girls on there, then she wants to get out of pocket or get out of body or try to cook some shit up. I don't want to hear that. A Marie is a friend of the show. It could work. Hey, maybe you guys are right. FPJ, I remember Star giving you a push to start up your own channel. He saw potential, respects those who make it happen. As he once said, now we're here tuning in your channel. I appreciate that. And even with that, it's people who, go on Star Report and become personalities, but don't start their own platforms, which is their prerogative and which is cool. And then you have people who come on the Star Report, start their own platforms and grow, which is also cool. And it's also an option. And I think that also reflects the type of person you are sometimes too, where you might not have seen yourself as a content creator. You might not have seen yourself as a individual brand outside of what you were introduced to. But the opportunity you have with the amount of eyes on you is going to either sway you to stay where you are up under whatever platform you came on, or it's going to encourage you to jump out and expand your reach and take advantage of the opportunity. So I think a lot of that is personality based and intention based. I'll take 50K a year for 1 hour a week just to talk crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, y'all ain't getting research. Y'all don't want to hear about what the fans be eating us alive. My nigga, listen, y'all sit on that couch. Y'all should be, every episode, y'all should have a crazy hot take where y'all go viral, bro. Like, niggas is up there. They be too worried about what the streets is saying. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. The streets ain't saying enough for you guys, can't just give it up and, cap. Jay Wan almost got $1 million from Joe. That nigga said $1 million ain't no money, so that's why he not there. Jay Wan was not about to get $1 million from Joe Budden, bro. You got some proof, man. I don't believe for 1 minute Joe Budden was about to pay that nigga goddamn $1 million, bro. Hell no. Jay Wan got $1 million for what? What was he doing? Somebody in the chat, tell me what Jay Wan was doing to get $1 million from the JBP. What was Jay Wan doing to get $1 million? If Jay Wan was about to get $1 million and turned it down, bro, somebody got to tell me, what was he doing? Freestyles during the sleepers or something? Like, what was going on, bro? What was going on, bro? TSU Server's best edition before he got locked up. Yeah, he was fire. I liked him. I think he was a dope addition. I think he was super dope for the show. Bridget Kelly definitely would have been better for that show. I feel like I love when Bridget Kelly used to come on the old era of the JBQ when it was Rory and Mal. Bridget Kelly definitely used to bounce off of Joe. Bridget Kelly kind of gives me like a female-ish perspective where she is well-versed in what she's coming to the table with, and she has experience in the music industry. She's also attractive, but she's not delusionally attractive. She's not like the Bernice Burgos, the Joy Taylors, the Melissa Ford attractive, where you have been a 10 for so long, your reality has been warped and you can't really have any type of realistic, relatable conversations when it comes to men and women or your own point of view. So I think Bridget Kelly definitely was the perfect person to be on that show. But I think, but I think what she did with Mandy, and it is what it is podcast, I think that kind of messed that up for the JBP in that situation. For JF Stars, finally go Joe Budden podcast. Hopefully bring you along. Yeah. We already talked about that, man. We already talked about that. If he ever does go up there and he decides to bring along, I think it'll be dope. I'll keep the same energy because I pay for Patreon and I've been in day one, so I wouldn't go up there and be like, yo, y'all niggas is trash and unbelievable. And nobody is up there is really trash. But I just have an opinion, and the money came out. A lot of us in here do subscribe to the Patreon, so I think we deserve to have a conversation around it. And who deserves what was we content. You see the thumbnail, Joe Budden swimming in money behind the Patreon sign. We pocket watching and hating. You know how we get down over here. Surface automatic 7th mic. That's funny. Surfing in the automatic 7th mic is crazy, dog. You put him in the E Manny goddamn J Wan category. So I've been waiting on him to visit JVP and Drink Champs. I would love to see Star on Joe Budden podcast. Drink Champs. Nori, the way he interrupts, I don't know how much patience Star has to be interrupted when he's cooking. So that would be interesting though. But if I had to pick between seeing Star on JVP or Drink Champs, I'm definitely going to go with JVP. Amory is too smart for the JVP, respectively. Yeah. If she was so smart, she wouldn't be up here trying to fight that one thing record every time she goes on stage. You lost that battle, Amory. Just relax, okay? Just relax. Relax, please. But I do like Amory. I just think she kind of, and I like her on the pod. I agree, Carlton, but she would have been a hell of an addition. Man, so y'all really liking Amory. Man, did Amory really cook on that? I gotta rewatch that pod. Was Amory really cooking like that? Y'all gotta let me know was Amory cooking like that, man. I watched it. I didn't really get it like that, but that's why Joe liked Baby D from Mal. Yeah, listen, Baby D would be fire. Baby D would be fire. I love Baby D on the Rory and Mal podcast because she be holding niggas accountable. Now she does have some BS takes when it comes like to J. Cole and certain things, but I like the way she holds some niggas accountable. I feel like the JBP needs a woman more of that ilk that won't take any crap the way she does than just a pretty face that cries when people feel like she feels like she's getting dogpiled. I would 100% take Baby D. And even when they did the pod trades, Joe definitely said, I will trade half you niggas for Rory and Baby D. Melissa, Flip, Ice. No, he said Melissa, Flip, Imani for Rory and Baby D. Let's get it popping. I would definitely do that trade. Now, you take Imani off, you take Flip and Melissa Ford off, throw in Mal and Baby D, fire. Podcast gold every time. Rory, Baby D's chemistry. Rory, goddamn Ice, Parks. I just think Rory needs to stop playing and go back, bro. Mal's messing up your bag, bro. Yeah, Rory and shit, man. Rory's that nigga, bro. Star on Police Business. Y'all know, hey, man, come on, dog. Y'all know the rap phone was never, hey, listen, we never too far away from the rap phone. Okay, y'all niggas get to tripping. Nigga, hey, yeah, the rap phone, we right here. I'm never, hey, Star spelled backwards is what? All right. He's blueprint for Shock Jocks podcast today. He needs to be recognized on these platforms. Bro, they've been trying to give that man, listen, they've been trying to give OG his flowers. OG is a Taurus, bro. Taurus is OG is OG on his own. If the Black Entertainment Podcast Space had their way, Star would have been getting his flower. They would have been calling this nigga up. He would have been on every show like 5, 6, 7 years ago. All these platforms, I'm pretty sure, would love to talk to Star, man. And I think we would actually benefit if Star went on these platforms and reintroduced himself to a whole new audience and basically reminded a lot of these other people's audiences where the inspiration came from. So I would love to see Star on these platforms. I would love to see Star go on like a meteor run and just hit all these platforms, chop it up, and dude, if he did that, man, yo, the Star, bro, I don't even know where the Star Report would be, bro. Like Star Report, I think he don't even want, I personally think Star don't even want all them niggas over there, to be honest. Not the people, the interview. I don't think he wants like an influx of your fans and your fans and your fans and your fans. I think Star, I don't know for sure, but the OG, trust me, man, if it was up to these podcasts, these other people's ways, bro, man, they probably had that nigga up there before the pandemic, dog. J1 got $1 million nickels. Thank you. Hey, thank you, bro. J1 got $1 million. What? $1 million nickels is crazy. $1 million nickels. Let me do the math. What's $1 million nickels, bro? Like, hey, dog, $1 million nickels is insane. Times, I gotta see this, bro. What's $1 million nickels? 50,000. Oh shit! Hey, dog. Hey, man, don't say J1 got $1 million nickels, a 50K E Manny bag. Trevor Jackson, you out of pocket. Nigga said he got $1 million nickels, bro. That's 50K. Goddamn, boy. That is crazy. Star been on a JP. Yeah. I think it was episode 77 or 67. It was Joe, Rory, and Star in the studio. And he kept sizing Rory, calling him white boy. And basically being like, hey, you know, you're cool, but, you know, you ain't too cool, but you're cool. I really like that episode. I remember Star went on Taxstone's podcast when Taxstone was out. And that episode was crazy because I remember Star told Taxstone Star always telling people something or saying something. But I remember he told him verbatim, like, dog, listen, if you don't stop going to certain places and being around certain people, you might get in a lot of trouble. I don't know your past. I don't know your present. I don't know where you're going or where you're coming from. But if you're going to get into this media game, you got to learn how to keep your distance and say no to people. Star is very intelligent. It's a lot of things Star has told me where I just don't really question what he tells me. If Star tells us something, I'm only questioning it to make sure what it is that he's telling me to a T. So yeah, man, you gotta give respect. You know, Mama Joe spoke on it. J1 had never say $1 million ain't enough, so he got curved. Man, Joe is playing. They ain't paying that. Hey, I'm with Trevor Jackson. That nigga said $1 million nickels to that nigga J1. Ain't no million. Man, what? Baby D is what Joe wants Mel to be. Thank you. And this is why, honestly, when it comes to women, and say Baby D's a 5 or 6, right? Say she's average, 5 or 6. Sometimes a 5 or a 6 can be way funner, way more lit, way more turned than the goddamn 10. Cause she don't care. Y'all ever had a fat homegirl? Anybody in chat, if you ever had a fat homegirl and went outside with a fat homegirl, she be turned up. The fat homegirl be funny. She cracking jokes. She ain't trying to be, too cool for school. She ain't trying to be on some, we trying to. The fat homegirl always keep it a buck. Let me see if I can add. Okay. Add moderator bow. Let me bow. Put Carlton Wade, moderator in the building. Yeah. I'm just going ahead. Like I said, I just had to go ahead and do that. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribing. Make sure you guys subscribe. Matter of fact, damn, the Cash App just hit. Let me see. I'm trying to read everything. It's 1 minute. Appreciate it. David McIntosh, appreciate it, man. Got $10 for the poors. Thank you. David Mac, we're part of the poors. Thank you. As a poor myself, as the JBP say, especially if we are at the bottom tier of the subscriptions. As a poor, thank you. This might go towards the JBP subscription. Matter of fact, that is going. I might pay the subscription early. See, that's what happens. See, in the JBP community, niggas spot out the poors, the $25 tier, be like, hey, you $10 tier niggas, bow on the house, pay it forward. That's what I'm saying, Joe. You got that 9,000 because the community won't let the poors go a month without the JBP. Man, come on, dog. That is a community if I ever seen one, dog. Salute. Niggas made sure, dog. Niggas made sure, man. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about. Girlfriend Breps Club would be fire on the JP. Lauren LaRosa, man, I don't think she built for the JBP. Lauren LaRosa, I don't think is built for the JBP. I don't think Jess Hilarious. Actually, I think Jess Hilarious is built for the JBP. I just don't know if that is man, I don't know, man, but I would like to see her. I would like to see her on. I just want to see the JVP. They need an aggressive woman, not an aggressive like like a manly woman, but they just need an aggressive woman who is very assertive on getting her point across and very astute with her intellect, with the way she articulates her point of view, and very patient to hear what the men is saying and to pretty much dissect certain points, separate from her emotion to attack somebody else's point of view. I just think they just need to have somebody, that can kind of challenge without feeling like they're getting packed up. Still rolling, man. I love these comments, bro. Salute to everybody. We got 25 people on YouTube, 28 people on X. Man, yeah, bro. YouTube, hey, man, y'all piling on YouTube, bro, for real. Yeah, Star definitely did warn. Yep, Star definitely warned that nigga Taxstone, bro. Yeah, Star throws backwards as rats, man. Y'all know what time it is. Star ball tour on Island, Carolina. I ain't hating. I understand, not too far away. Yeah, you already know the OG. Don't call me white girl Mona. She perfect JVP. But see, I think she is good for the JVP. But I think, like, even with the episode, I think some of the men up there weren't used to that aggression. So I think it would have to be like a fill-in. I do think she is like a female flipping away, but in a good way, not in like the you're just up here saying stupid shit. But she keeps a level of energy where I think that if she decided to join the podcast, it would definitely benefit the platform. I think she would definitely be somebody that the cast would take to. And I believe that when she was on the last episode of the JVP, the cast, for the most part, not even the cast, but Melissa Ford actually seemed like she was on some type of time where she was like, oh, I'm gonna stop caring and I'm gonna say what it is and I'm just gonna give it up now. And it was like, all right, we hear you, but we'll see. I do have some other stuff. Said Joe Budden's podcast co-host confronted him after he accidentally revealed how much money he makes on Patreon this month. 155,000 members. Let me go ahead and make sure the screen is sharing. Give me a second. Yes, sir. We in the building. Nah, Mel not represent right. I just feel like I like Mel. I think she's a cool person. I just don't think she's good at her job. I can like you and think you're fine and think you're terrible at your job. It is what it is. So they have over 155,000 members, 900,000 a month plus, basically a million a month, 30.2 million views. And we're gonna play a little bit of this audio. JVP, don't sue me.
Hey, how y'all know they down?
United don't got that.
Back out the numbers. You trying to do a big one.
Niggas ain't never work at corporate.
But little do you know, the internet had you beat.
A little bit of brightness turned up.
Because they brightened their numbers, and I saw you made a lot last month. You made a lot the month before, and honestly,
You standing up for the people?
oh shit, wait, you making a lot now, champ. So
Wait, what?
I think your story. I mean, I get it. I mean, high overhead, but the overhead is
It ain't that high. United,
Wait, how y'all know they down?
United don't got that high.
I'm looking at that like, okay,
Stupid, yo.
okay. Do you have any explanation to do? That's not the prospects bag you getting. I had to do calculation. You bang them niggas in the head. That's not the problem. Run your game. That's not that.
Out there.
Run like, nigga, what?
Yeah, I knew he was gonna do it.
I knew it as soon as I saw
Yo,
it.
you are an idiot.
I'm surprised my sister ain't say nothing.
No, you know, Big. Stop playing with her.
What she ain't gonna say?
Stop playing with her. You know about her.
Oh yeah, she did.
This little measle right here.
Mm-hmm. I did say something,
Okay.
but off camera.
Oh.
Who you said something to?
Ian.
Oh shit! You went to the.
What'd you say?
You went to Shea Whitey.
Niggas
was
was
sending
sending
me
I got
text
calls,
messages,
text
bro.
You got
messages.
calls too?
I didn't know what the
Nigga,
fuck
I
it
didn't
was.
know what the fuck that was because I didn't even see it. But niggas just sit, yo. I'm like,
What did you see that triggered you to do that though? Because you don't usually do that. That's not even your bag. And I asked you on the phone. I'm like, Joe, tell me what's.
And pretty much what the cast is kind of saying is that, like, damn, Joe, like, this is out of your character to, how can I say this is out of your character to push your money or to show people what you got going on. Seemed like the cast took him for a loop. Seemed like the cast was a little like, hey, what's going on? They didn't really understand what's going on. They might have been blindsided, but we have to, watch how the cast reacted to it.
Out there, who said something, who offended you, who threw shots, who called you broke. You said none of that happened.
None of that happened.
So what did you have to
I saw the rumors after it happened, but none of that happened. I wasn't. That's corny.
So what did you see? Something triggered
something
that.
inspired that.
Exactly. Thank you, Freeze.
I got you, bro.
I kept asking him, tell me what inspired that.
Well,
nigga.
that ain't you.
30 million.
What about it?
That number excited me.
I need you to walk me through from the second you saw it, first reaction
Got it.
on, please. Well, that's why I called you.
So
I wanted to hear this live.
I usually check my Patreon public visitors, the people that come through.
Got it.
So I know that feeling.
Got it.
The number goes up, you're like, oh shit. You got to make sure that they subscribe to it.
Okay.
Whatever free ad you have that they watch,
Make sure that you work.
yeah, make sure it works. Yeah. So
got it.
So when I was on my shit just regular. I get a DM. Yo, look, nigga. Yo, they got Joe with a whiteout shit that says 900. What the fuck is that?
Yo, you ain't got a magnifying glass? You saw
No.
it.
I said no. I said, what the fuck? I said, okay, cool.
Hold that in the light.
Then I got a text from my uncle and them. I said, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I go to this nigga's stories. The nigga cropped out some shit. And I'm like, oh, nah, he playing. So I think I got lightheaded, nigga. I said, yo, princess, bring me a water real quick and bring me a high C. I need to go. I need electrolytes.
In my moment of excitement, I said to Ian, yo, do me a favor, big dog. On a FaceTime, hey, black out all this other shit. I need to hit this 30 million on him. Fucking sun was shining. What? Not feeling great.
Hey, let me know.
He sent the shit back.
Why, right?
Yeah.
He sent the shit back. And I was so caught up in whatever I was doing. Normally, I would clip it like I did because I know better.
I was gonna call you and tell you to take it down.
Nah, I called him. I said, yo, I said, yo, dog.
I called my agent instead. By the time we got off the phone, an hour passed. He'll tell you all about it.
He'll let you know. Now I'm like, yo, dog, take that stupid shit down. He's like, what? I said, yo, my nigga, you can see through the numbers.
Nigga, I wanted
He's
him.
like, yo, you lying.
I wanted him to keep it up. I wanted to be motivated, nigga. I was on his ass.
You seen it
He's a
already?
crazy
Nah, I'm on his ass still, nigga. I try to go to nigga crib. Yo, you home? I'm at the corner. Can I talk to you for a minute?
I've just seen so much internet chatter. We have so many communities and they're so large.
Yes.
I've seen so much internet chatter about how a leak like that would tear a family apart. I'm just glad to know that this team is so strong in its foundation. Nothing like that will come between us. Anyway.
You wake up in the
My bad. I'm talking. Yeah. About Melissa Ford, when she first started, she was lit. I don't know what happened. Man, what happened was we had a very high expectations for M4. Then when time went and passed and she came on there with them badass wigs, she was like a high draft pick that turned out to be a bust. That was Melissa Ford, me on JVP. Melissa Ford was like a very talented first round, like wide receiver or just a very, outside prospect that was going to bring some razzle dazzle to the offense. And we found out that they couldn't run routes and their hands are made of bricks. That's what, M4 gave me. You can only front for so long. She's not showing. Oh, she's now showing why she's single childish at her age. Well, I won't go that far, but I do see what you're saying. At 40 plus, she should not be on the couch with her husband. Oh, damn, you going in at 40 plus? She should. Y'all kicking her back in. Damn, hold on. At 40 plus, she should not be. Oh, she should be on the couch with her husband, not cackling with a bunch of other guys who constantly talk about popping other chicks and reminiscing on their player heydays. Cold game. Maybe. Carlton Way. Yeah, I won't say she shouldn't be on the couch doing what she's doing. I think like Bridget Kelly, I think she's in her 40s with a family and kids, and I think she would be good on the couch. I just think, like I said, M4, I don't know if she has like a how can I say this? I don't know if M4 has like an issue with expressing herself. It just seems like she's like afraid, or she thinks too much, or like she's like afraid of saying the wrong thing. And just personally, I think that kind of holds her back from being the best content creator she can possibly be, dog. I just think so. And I'm still going. I'm still looking at some other things. And even like I said, bro, I appreciate A. Marie on there, but like, I just want to really put her on there. Let me share this screen with you guys. Like I said, if you guys do, let me say, remember, Flip ain't FBA. I'm just saying, but I know what, I'm going to not do that to Flip, because Flip, even though he is non-FBA, he has went on that platform and advocated for FBA. He has spoken to like Yvette Carnell. He's very cognizant of the struggle and the conversation. So even though Flip is non-FBA, I do think that he has went on the Joe Budden platform and used it to elevate the FBA movement. So until Flip does some type of tether behavior or some type of thing that undermines foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, Black first, unless Flip does something to undermine that, I'm going to say Flip is a advocate for foundational Black Americans. That's just my point of view. What do you think of the Ironheart controversy, a Black girl, Magic, or those crackers tired of the race and gender swap in comics? I think it's dope. I like Ironheart. I like what she brings. I like, the script. I like the budget that goes behind Ironheart. I think it's dope. And I do think that, a lot of people just don't want the characters flipped, to be honest, bro. I just think it comes out of that. Is it a racial element to that? Of course, but I just don't think that a lot of people like their traditional characters flipped into a different gender, different race. I got a little bit of academics cooking about this topic. Let me go ahead and share the screen, share screen. And if you guys like the backdrop, let me know if you guys appreciate the backdrop. My dog, Trevor Jackson, cooked that up for us. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. The Cash App, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some gas in the car.
Now you can't really see too well, but this
get it popping. Here's Act breaking it down a little bit, and after we do the Act breakdown, we're gonna talk about it a little bit more, and then we're gonna go ahead and peel out of here, because I do have something. Somebody expect me a little later, so I don't want to be here too long.
It's like 903,000 from membership earnings, and I think the total was like 930. I don't know what that's for, but apparently Joe's Patreon is making $900,000 a month. Now, to be very clear and to be very fair,
appreciate it.
I'm very happy for him if he's making that, right? And once I see 30 million views in a month, right, I could see why if everybody's paying. What does Joe charge? $20, right? if you're having 30 million people go on your Patreon site and the average cost of each membership is $20, I could definitely see you making $900,000. Now, here's the problem. And, I wouldn't have posted this, and I don't even really want to get too much into this because I actually like the guys now on the Joe Budden podcast. The moment this shit drops, all beef. Like all beef. And put it like this. Let me tell you this. There's notable moments when niggas is never happy again. When Adam went on and said, yo, I'm making $1 million a month, it was never the same in No Jumper. I'm telling you, the passive aggressiveness at the Joe Budden podcast is about to be 5,000. Like, it's going to go 5,000 levels. You know why? Respectfully, and I don't know what nobody makes, and I don't care. I like those guys. I'm not taking shots or nothing, but there's probably a nigga on there making $5,000 a month. And $5,000 a month.
A Manny, where you at? A Manny, where you at? You making $5K a month? Stand up, you Manny. Ain't nothing wrong with $5K a month. You on a show hanging out, chilling, man. Ain't nothing wrong with $5K a month, man. They can pay me $5K a month. I'll go up there right now. $5K a month, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
When you feel like you giving a lot of your life up, or you're bringing some of your personal drama on there to make it more fun and all that shit, and you realize Joe is getting 900. I always told y'all the thing. The moment Everyday Struggle was over, the moment Joe knew how much Spotify paid us. When we realized Spotify paid damn near almost $1 million, I can't remember what the number was. Damn near $1 million, and me and Joe was only getting an extra bump of 15,000 extra a month, right? And they paid $1 million, and me and Joe are getting 15,000, and literally they're only paying for me and Joe. The moment Joe seen that, Joe said, "Fuck them Friday episodes. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." Like, the Everyday Struggle was never the same after that. That shit was a ticking time bomb. So I don't know why Joe posted this, because he has employees. Like, it's different with me. You know what I mean? I don't have other people that are on camera talent that are on my broadcast. So I could show you I make $30 million. Who's going to get mad? They're going to be like, well, Act just grinded it up by himself, right? Now, maybe if it was like I'm filming at a studio, or say I'm filming obviously we do our podcast from my other studio. Yeah, maybe a nigga who's holding the camera could be like, bro, could you give me a little raise or whatever? But nobody's going to be like, bro, we deserve part of the money, right? Like, I'm over here motherfucking Tiger Woods in this shit. You heard me? But when you have 10 niggas on the podcast, Mike, like Joe, some of these niggas is going to start thinking inevitably, yo, bruv, I'm not saying we should bust this shit down half, but if you get 900, yo, bro, I think I should get 50, you know what I mean? And, that's incorrect, but still, it's gonna happen. It's going to happen, right? Which, obviously, again, I say I like the guys over there, because if I found this out when Rory and Mal was over there, I would have gaslit them niggas to quit in 3 days. I would have had them niggas over here trying to stab Joe's Maybach tire, take air out the Ferrari, steal the hubcap off his. Joe got all them cars now. I know these niggas be showing up to work is that a fucking Ferrari? Wait, this nigga Joe got a Rolls? Oh, hell nah. This nigga got what? It always happens like that. Yo, if it was Rory and Mal, I would have gassed the shit out of them. I would have gaslit. Yo, they would have stole the hubcap off that nigga Maybach, bro. But it's all good. Brothers, maintain your composure. Okay. If anything, you use this. I'm telling you, I'm giving y'all good advice. I really like everybody over there. Okay. Even Mark Lamont Hill, may not be like that. Okay. He kind of apologized for, I don't know what he did, but whatever. It's water under the bridge. Fellas, this is what you do. I'm giving y'all good advice. This is not even gaslighting, like what I did to all them niggas at the community niggas. And by the way, y'all community niggas and the fig community dudes, I'm sorry. I have a whole response for y'all. And that's the Joe show. Not disrespecting y'all, but that's the Joe show. But I would say this. Joe got a pop in Patreon. Again, I don't want to jump in his business and fuck up, because again, I'll say something and one nigga will hear it and be like, he just started to be mad toxic and start giving Joe headaches. I don't want to say nothing. And I'm like, it'll come off like I'm hating on my man's. I'm not. I think if Joe has this amount of people with purchasing power and he's getting 30 million monthly episodes 30 million Patreon views, what I think you brothers should do, if y'all want to get paid more money, maybe I'll get paid lovely already. I don't know. Y'all should try to create a show and pitch it to Joe. Joe has a whole platform for Patreon that y'all have helped build. So all these people that's on his Patreon, y'all have helped bring there. He's not going to bust down the money that he's making on his back. I don't care how much of y'all niggas over there. It's still Joe's show. Bring your show to his Patreon and negotiate a profit split with that. That's what y'all should do. All of y'all get your own show, right? It could be a little segment or whatever. You do it weekly. And you say, Joe, could you post this to the Patreon? Your Patreon, because you got the people already that we kind of help you get. And then let's bust down some of the money of how many people are watching it. And we could figure that out on the back end. Now, y'all going to have to trust Joe with the accounting. And not playing. But that's a good way. That's a good way. But the Joe Budden podcast, I'm telling y'all niggas now, do not even ask for a percentage. If y'all ask for it, he's going to fire y'all like the 2 empty seats. Okay? I'm telling y'all that. All right? Anyway, congrats to Joe if he's making $900,000 on the Patreon. I wonder how much Flagrant's making. Flagrant 2.
Yeah, so, I think academics had a lot of good advice about what they should do. I think academics kind of told them, hey, dog, make yourself useful, bro. You got the platform that you're on. Maximize your exposure and see if you can cut a bag out of that, out of that pie. If you can't, then that's on you. But I definitely do believe that what Joe has presented, I think he did that for more narratives. I think he did that to see what his cast would do. And I believe that he intentionally posted those numbers strategically, because I don't think Joe does anything by accident. I don't think he does anything by accident. I would definitely take that $60K a year to show up for 2 days a week. That's all I'm saying, bro. I would show up for 2 days a week for sure. But I think that we have exhausted this topic out as far as we can. I do appreciate everybody in the building. We have 2 new moderators. So say salute to Carlton Way 1, who's always in the building, getting popping with us. Say salute to Twin Peaks Trading, another moderator. So now I got, I think, like 3 total moderators. Shakiria is the one and only original mod. So thank you to everybody who has been watching the show. Thank you to everybody. Oh, hold on. Got a message. Yeah. So we're making mango margaritas tonight. So I'm bringing the blender over for the mango margaritas. So I definitely have to peel out of here. Like I said, I do appreciate everybody in the chat, in the building. We'll be going live again tomorrow. We're going to, like I said, the Diddy case is wrapping up. So we are going to be streaming regular topics on the regular. We're trying to get another show cracking this week. Me, Trevor Jackson, I'm gonna hit up J Doug, and we're gonna get some. I'm gonna call J Doug tomorrow because we talk in our chats. J Doug be in the chat talking. I was in his chat yesterday talking. So we definitely communicate and support this platform. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop it up with him. Hopefully, me, J Doug, Trevor Jackson can bring you guys something very, 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 very special this weekend. And outside of that, yeah, man, we're gonna be going live, like I said, every day. It took me, just some time this week to not even really just fall back, but I just want to get some things together when it comes down to this interface, when it comes down to more and just, a higher quality of production for the audience. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue to do that. I just bought another light. I bought, actually, I was gifted, my bad. I was gifted, Super Christina, I was gifted this fucking big ass square light because she does like makeup and then a bunch of other stuff, cosmetics. So she gave me this giant light that I need batteries for and plug up. So salute her for helping me, just do things here and there. I do have an OBS platform also that I'm going to be taking an HDMI adapter. I'm going to be streaming PlayStation 2 games on Twitch and YouTube and some PlayStation 5 games. So I'm going to get a little bit into gaming, but we're going to take care of that probably next week. But as far as now, yeah, salute, man. Like I said, thank you, Twin Peaks. You know already time. We're getting it cracking. Like I said, bro, I appreciate everybody. Please hit the like button. $ Cash App Floorboy J. You know, you cash app if you want to. If you don't, it's all good. I ain't worried about it. This is not a show where I'm beating niggas down. Tell them if you don't cash app, we won't go live. If you don't hit the like button, we won't go live. If it ain't 10 people in here, we won't go live. I'm not one of those platforms. I just salute everybody who does want to come and watch. Follow me on X, Floorboy J 904. The graphics are dope. Like I said, Trevor Jackson cooked this up for show. We got the background of Jacksonville. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead. Matter of fact, let me show you. Let me give y'all a little, you know what I'm saying, a little yummy on what he really cooked up, because this is historic. Y'all see this? Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. The bridge is going up. The bridge is up. We even got the landing in the back, man. Come on, dog. Who's giving you this type of production, man? I don't know who, but I know Trevor Jackson is. So salute Trevor Jackson. Look at this. It's fire. It's fire. The bridge goes down, you know, and this is how we're going to be ending the show, and starting the show. You know, you're going to see, you know, the daily process in Jacksonville. Like I said, man, we're on the road 6K. We're almost to 6K. We're less than 100 away from 6,000 subs. So please hit that subscribe button and just look how the clouds are going. Look how the sun is shifting. How this the shadowy vibes over the city. The afternoon coming, and look, just watch. He cooked. I can't believe he did this. This is crazy. It's just gonna go drift tonight. Great graphics. I'm telling you, bro. This cooked it up. See that? Look at that. Great production, man. That's why I appreciate the cash apps. Appreciate super chats. I appreciate the support, because as long as you guys pile in here and let me know you are watching and you are enjoying the platform, I will continue to go live every day when I can. I won't abandon the platform, won't leave you guys. This is one of my favorite things to do. I love potting. I love talking to you guys. I love breaking down these topics, and to have this level of production adds to the entertainment value. So like I said, salute to Trevor Jackson for cooking up the bottom header, the graphics. This is super dope. We had a great show. I'm probably going to have over 100 people watching me by the time I end this. Like I said, see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace out. Love. Be safe. Be kind to one another. Don't crash out on anybody. Don't call nobody's phone if you know they with somebody else. Just because you're not with them tonight don't mean you're not going to be with them tomorrow. Don't crash out. Don't pay what you owe. Don't be out this weekend stunned in front and you owe somebody some money, because rent is due on the first coming up. And if niggas see you in the club and you owe them some rent money and they put hands feet on you, that's your fault. It's your fault. All right. Make sure you're good. Peace, love. Hit the like button, subscribe, super chat, all that good stuff. $ Floorboy J. Peace out. See you guys later, man. Have a great night. Thank you.